In this episode you will see an incredible game of ball on real flying brooms. An epic duel between the Academy's strongest students. Mash is challenged to this duel by one of the powerful student mages. He also wants to be the first in the school, but our hero crossed his path. Will Mash be able to endure his opponent's crushing blows and win the battle? Or will he have to kiss his mage's title goodbye forever? Mash was accepted on a sports team for the game, the essence of which was ball and broom flying. Except there was one little problem: the guy didn't have the magical powers to fly. The audience was not thrilled with this development. They came to watch an interesting game, not to see teammates just standing around. Especially the legendary Mash, who showed a phenomenal ability to fly a broomstick. Then the team captain decides to take matters into his own hands. He should set the guy up to win, to get some action. Except Mash wasn't exactly enthusiastic about it all. He'd warned the captain more than once about being a bad broom flyer, but he wouldn't listen. So what could he possibly have to complain about now? But the hyperactive captain again did not hear his classmates' words. Then the boy in charge of the team decided to explain the rules to him. Maybe it's all because he just doesn't know the rules. They consist of simply flying on a broomstick and scooping the ball into the other team's ring. What will you choose? Ignore, go to school or work. Like and subscribe to watch anime all day. The captain, as best he could, tries to set Mash up for the game. The other team was starting to win. They eliminated the captain and are now scoring one goal after another. This is already a problem. This hasn't happened in a long time. The lead in points was huge. The captain hurt his hand and couldn't continue the game. He tried to tell Mash that even if they didn't win, it wasn't winning that mattered, it was participating. The way he put in this game, the way he played, what he was willing to give for his team. Seeing the deplorable nature of the situation, the guy couldn't stay away. It was time to act, something had to be done. So he pushed himself off the ground and soared into the air. No, he didn't suddenly have magical powers, he just started waving his legs like a fan while staying in the air. Not only did he soar into the air, he intercepted the ball and threw it right into the enemy goal. It was a legendary shot, so powerful and strong. How did he do it? Because he was a tremendous distance from the ring. But nevertheless he swung and threw and got a point for his team. But it still wasn't enough, they couldn't beat the other team, they had too big of a lead in points. And there wasn't much time left in the game. Suddenly, something unnatural began to happen in the air. Everyone looked up and saw the ball boomerang its way back into Mash's hands. They seemed to have a new favorite in the game. Maybe Mash had been dormant all this time to build up all that energy and just tear up the stadium. After just a little while, he didn't just outscore his opponents. He scored as many points as anyone had ever scored in the history of the game. With that, the Reds team set a record for points. They beat their opponents and won the competition. Of course, the teachers appreciated such efforts, and the entire team received a silver coin each. Coins were not round like we all imagined, but triangular or diamond-shaped. After the game, the captain came up and thanked the kid from the bottom of his heart for giving so much in the game. He didn't expect him to show all his abilities so much. He really was very grateful to him, because if it wasn't for him, they would have lost. Not only that, but the whole academy was now talking about it. Our newly minted apprentice was also featured on the local news. Of course, such events are rare. One of the students saw the news and realized that he was a true competitor. Only he is supposed to be the best, and here someone takes his place. It is necessary to remove him somehow, because he is a nuisance. The next day the guy became a real attention magnet. The captain wanted to get him on his team and lure him to practice. And Lemon tried to insist that he study. But the boy wanted neither, he just wanted to sit in silence. Then Lance walked into the classroom. It was the same student Mash had crossed paths with before he knew it. He was said to be the first in the entrance exams. He was unusual not only in his mental abilities, but also in his looks. Many girls were crazy about him. He suggested to our guys that we have some fun. He took out a bottle that suddenly sucked Mashle's friends into. He explained that it was a flask, a magical artifact that was designed to trap people. He said he would give his friends back if Mashle came to meet him in the woods. It was a strange offer, but there was nothing to do, so the guy agreed. In the woods he showed he had some coins. Not only that, but his magic abilities were on point. One-liners are magicians with one magical mark. Such people make up a larger population on the planet. However, there are also those who have more than one line, too linear. These people are very rare. They are like exceptions to the rule. However, they are very talented and use magic to the best of their ability. Lance proposed a magic duel to Mashle. Since such duels were forbidden on academy grounds, he summoned him to the woods to do so. The guy couldn't refuse since his opponent was blackmailing him with his friends in a bottle. Despite his friend's warning, Mashle agreed to duel with Lance. For more convenience, Lance took out his wand and made a veritable battleground. With a single spell, he scorched a huge area of the forest, clearing space. Mashle didn't stall long and rushed into battle. With his wand, Lance quickly brought the boy back from heaven to earth, literally. With his will in his fist, Mashle tried to resist the magic. He pulled the roots out of the ground and escaped the trap of gravity. The battle takes a new turn. Now one spell won't overpower the guy. During the battle, Lance's pendant, which had a loli inside, broke off. But luckily it wasn't that bad, it was just his sister. Lance decided to start a conversation on a philosophical topic and asked his classmate, "What is the most important treasure in this world?" The boy could not find the right answer. It turned out to be Lance's sister, which sounds creepy. The thing is, for his little sister's sake, he's willing to become the meanest villain. He loved her as much as she loved him. As a child, an irreparable thing happened. Anna fell ill with an incurable disease that made her magic mark, and with it, her powers, disappear. And if this happened, the girl must be surrendered to the state, as she no longer has the right to live in this society. Such a decision Lance could not make and vowed to become the best of the best to save his sister. He threw the flask, which had Mashle's friends inside, off the cliff. The boy showed all his might and ran down the slope, grabbed the bottle, and came back up. Mashle offered a draw. He cracked Lance. The bottle was actually empty. The guy saw himself in Mashle. They sure looked something alike. Both pretended to be what they really weren't, for the sake of family. Mashle was pretending to be a mage, for his father's sake, and Lance was a villain, for his little sister's. The only thing they had in common was the genuine goodness in their hearts. They were ready to give everything they had for the sake of the people closest to them. Who knows, maybe Lance and Mashle will even become friends someday.